Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first two guests of the day here, iDubbbz and Anissa. Is that how you say it, or is that because I was saying Anissa earlier and people are like, that's wrong?
Yeah, it's Anissa.
Yeah.
Anissa would be with two S's.
For those of you who don't know, they're the creators of the Creator Clash that we watched that I was supposed to also attend, but I was too much of a chicken to
You're also
participate
supposed to
in.
fight in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
When I said attend, I meant like fight. But then I was like,
we also invited you to it to watch.
yeah, that's true. And I thought it was going to be in LA.
Yeah.
And it was not in LA.
California's too strict with their boxing regulations. We got to do it in the
libertarian paradise of Florida. Yeah. Let's talk about the Creator Clash real quick. So for those of you who don't know, how would you describe what you guys did?
Well, we had no idea what we were doing. We sort of like found ourselves in boxing culture, and we were like, oh, I've spent like 4 months training to box rice gum. Like, how are we going to like make a boxing event happen? And we just kept going until it happened.
Is that wait? So that's how it originally started. You were supposed to box rice gum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except you fucking fought Dr. Mike,
Yeah.
who was.
He could have been an easy win if I had another year to bulk up.
Dude, he was fucking, he was a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like he was, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting that energy, I think.
Yeah.
Came in hot, dude.
Yeah. He came in very hot. He damaged my face quite a bit, but he didn't touch my body, which I think would have been a huge advantage if he learned to go for the body, because I probably would have fucking passed out if he landed any body shots.
Yeah, you tanked it.
Yeah.
What happened to your... Wait, do you have a photo? I think I saw a photo of your face after, like a couple days after.
There's a TikTok I uploaded.
Yeah.
This is the one? Oh my God, dude. This is a violation of the Hippocratic Oath. I'm pretty sure.
It is.
He made a video about that before the fight, about how it's not a violation.
It's not?
Apparently.
I mean, I'm kidding. I don't think it is, but like... There are many things that I personally believe should be considered a violation of the Hippocratic Oath, like getting an MBA if you have an MD. I think you should not be allowed to do that, but, that's just me. But this is...
Don't I kind of look like... I was being called Sloth from the Goonies.
Yeah.
And but I personally think when you start to get pounded and that gets swollen, you look a little bit more like a Navi from Avatar.
Yeah, you look good. So what's up with the mullet, dude? What's going on there?
I feel like it just fits my head a little bit better than some other haircuts.
Yeah.
You know?
Jeff Wittick.
It's a new era.
I think Jeff Wittick also just blessed him with a haircut right before.
Yeah.
And it was the mullet. So.
Yeah, he's supposed to cut my hair a long time ago as well, but I feel like he's a one-trick pony with the fucking haircuts. Like he only knows how to cut mullets.
Oh, that might be. I don't know.
No, literally. Like I feel like you go to him and you're like, "All right, Jeff, like give me a high and tight," and he's like, "Oh shit, I don't know what happened." Like he just blacks out and he just cuts a mullet into your head. But yeah, no, Curtis Connor's got that too. I see it. You look like a yak. Shut the fuck up, dude. This is normal hair. My chat is crazy. I think at least now it's like long enough that it's not super weird.
No, I like your hair. You got a nice wave to it.
Yeah, there used to be a time when it was really bad. Like it was really, really fucking awful, and it was short, and I did look like a yak, a water buffalo, but now it's fine, I think. Okay, but it was a good success overall, right? I mean, how many people watched?
Well, it was about, I think, 100,000 pay-per-views, which was good. Is a little bit under the TikToker versus YouTuber one. We were hoping to pass that.
Yeah.
But they had all sorts of fuck you live, X live money
I
to
think
promote
like
it.
our huge mistake was not hiring like lawyers to be on like the ready for taking down like pirated streams.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of pirating.
Yeah, I was pirating it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I bought it. This is a sick photo.
I love that photo.
Hey, you look badass, dude.
Yeah, William Osmond took that.
Yeah, William Osmond.
He was going around taking all sorts of Polaroids of all the fighters. It really made it feel
Yeah, you look like a
special.
bad bitch. I mean, you've never fought before this.
No.
Like even a street fight, fist fight.
No. I think in middle school, some big Mexican kid like pushed me into a wall, and I like fucking was absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's like you have
not
no
too
other.
much, no fighting experience.
Zero sports experience.
Zero sports experience.
Like none.
Anissa really pushed me to do it because I think like she she's seen Rice Gum, and she was like, "You can do it."
Oh no,
Come on.
I think you could have easily beat Rice Gum's ass,
Right.
for sure.
But we kept upgrading it. You know, Jeff Wittick was one of the people we were gonna fight.
Yeah.
But you were gonna fight Jeff?
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been just as bad as Dr. Mike.
No. Have you met Jeff?
Jeff's smaller, so I wouldn't have had to put on weight.
I know Jeff.
Jeff would be faster.
I've known Jeff for years, actually. I even before he was like Vlog Squad adjacent, and then almost died as a consequence of his.
Mike is huge. Like the thing that
I've never seen Mike, so maybe he's bigger.
Dr. Mike is like 6'3" but closer to 6'4". And he's also like, so on weigh-in, he was 188 pounds, but he was definitely dehydrating. He was about 200.
He was
over
try-harding.
Yeah.
I think he was like he tried way too hard for a dude who's like boxed for 10 years or some shit.
He's already ready to go.
Yeah, he was primed. He was trying to fucking do a murder.
Whereas like with Ian, he was like 183 pounds a week before the fight, and we panicked and we were like, fuck, he needs to retain water so he can hit closer. So we like fed him like water and creatine and salt. So he was 188 pounds, but it was like 188 pounds of water and like some fat, and so I mean on fight day they definitely look different, whereas Jeff Wittick is like 165 pounds, like 170, and he's like your height.
It would be easier to fight.
It would have been closer body wise.
I just felt like he's fought a lot, but maybe I'm wrong.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jeff definitely has like I think more fighting experience.
Yeah, he loves that shit. That's like his thing. Like haircuts and fighting.
It would have been like a lot more like tricky and interesting to watch. I think it would have been a lot more embarrassing if he was good. You know. Yeah.
Oh,
because he'd get you with tricky shit.
Yeah.
Who was outside of your fight? Like, who was your favorite breakout star?
Well, Dad. Dad was great.
But I feel like I expected him to be. I mean, he's so fucking jacked.
Yeah.
It's Ryan for me.
Yeah, it was Ryan and
McGee.
Alex fight. That was like the best because that was like they matched up so perfectly.
For me, it was
Reeves.
It was Michael Reeves, dude. That was he just fucking. I mean, he was insane.
The first time he tried to throw a punch, he'd never boxed before, and he like threw a hook, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, this guy.
Again, once you feel that,
look at that. Just look at that movement. He's like weaving, he's bobbing, he's got great movement. It was awesome. Yeah, Michael Pacquiao. Yeah, he just fucking did it.
I'd like to see Michael fight again, but I don't think he wants to damage his brain.
Yeah.
last 30 seconds here.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of there was a lot of like a lot of the fights came down to like whoever had like longer reach. Yeah, like pretty much.
Except
for Dad and Matt Watson.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Watson is taller than
Way
Dad?
taller, yeah.
Yeah, Dad really fucking came in.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, he unloaded on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh yeah, I mean, this one was crazy. This is the person, okay, for those of you who don't know, at this stage, this sick fucking freak is who this man right here wanted me to fight, okay?
It
Replay,
any
boom,
amount of
that right
training
hand.
would have been
Using
Right
that jab to paw, looking
Ian
for the right
sparred
time for
Alex.
that right hand.
Yeah.
God damn, dude, look at that. Look at how wiry he is, bro. He's taller.
He's not.
He's
like
taller.
a
He's taller than me
inherent
too.
benefit.
Because he came over after when they were in LA. Him and Boy, and we hung out. And he's actually taller than me too.
How much taller?
Not that much.
Like an inch.
Like yeah, just an inch. But still.
James is like 6 feet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, that
like,
was. I feel bad.
Well, the thing with
Don't-
James, he like we even talked to him. We interviewed him actually in LA this time around, and like he froze like hard. I actually turned when the fight was called. I turned to Hundar, who was also trained by his coach, and I was like, "Why didn't he throw in the towel earlier, like the coach?" And Hundar looked at me and he was like, "I've never seen James fight like that ever." In like my like whole time training with him. So like
Oh, you think he didn't like show? You think he couldn't
No.
show up? He
yeah,
got scared.
He didn't show
just
what
froze.
he had for sure.
I mean 10,000 people. It was loud in there and like a lot of energy, and I mean he wants to fight again because he just feels like he froze and just didn't do anything he learned at all.
That's insane.
It's too bad.
This is what you wanted
Time
to
for that
happen
right
to me.
hand.
You would have been so fine.
No,
would've
I've never.
soaked it.
Well, back then, when you first reached out to me, it was like right after quarantine restrictions were like easing up, and I was so fucking depressed and so fucking fat. I literally could not. I would stand up. Like I've been working out nonstop since then, but at that point, I think I was at like 285 pounds or something, and I was literally when I would stand up for an extended period of time, I would get winded.
Oh.
Like 15 minutes of standing up, I was like, ugh,
I think
it was
that's
too
the
much.
Would have been the
problem.
perfect way to
Excuse.
get you to work out and get in shape.
He couldn't have lost that much weight though in time.
Yeah, no, this is no shot. We never would have been able to. Yeah, we never would have been able to get like
I will say, Hasan, if you fought Crowder, that would be my dream.
Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. That's like the only person that's like in my weight range that is like a conservative
I would love
commentator.
that.
I don't think he'd be down to do it. I feel like I'd be down to do that.
I will try and bother him. Gavin McGinnis called Ian hot and cool the other day.
Oh God.
Yeah, because he watched the fight and he was like, "Well, I thought he was like a dumb nerd, but he kind of looks epic. He's got like cool hair."
You do look like a Vice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you look like you got the. Yeah,
fair.
especially with the mullet, you do look like you would be, I don't know, trying ayahuasca or something.
Right. I had to tone that down by getting the nails done.
Yeah. No, I mean, that stuff doesn't count anymore. It's like 2022, I'm going to have my nails painted soon as well later in this broadcast. But Moist Critical Commentating was amazing. Yeah, Moist, oh, dude, if he fought, that'd be sick to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so selfish because, like, on the one hand, I'm sure people would love to see me fight too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that because, like, I don't want to fuck myself up. But also simultaneously, I'm like, I would love to see all of these people fight.
It's pretty life-changing. I would say
It is life-changing.
It's going to be one of the like most memorable experiences of your life.
Also,
And everyone who signed up for it, even the people who got punched in the face and TKO'd, like they all said afterward, like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that again." So it's
Most of
not
them-
definitely not as scary as people make it out.
Yeah, most of them passionately want to do it again. Like a lot of them are like trying to get on the card, right away. So
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
also good because I think people are realizing that it's not a bad thing to lose. Like losing isn't the worst thing that happens. It is the worst thing if you're facing your mortal enemy, but
Yeah, that's why, like, I can't. If I fight Steven Crowder, like, I have to beat his ass.
you have to win. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
if I lose to Steven Crowder, it's over. Like the progressive movement is set back by decades at that point. You know what I mean? Just not acceptable.
Yeah.
no, that's fair.
Let's talk about incels, because I mean, and I don't know if you want to talk about this, but
Oh no, we
and
can't
anything
talk about that.
anything that you don't want to talk about, we don't have to. But like, I remember there was a big fallout, and people were like very upset at you because of both of you, actually. As a matter of fact, like there was like a fan base drama where
Yeah.
people thought that you betrayed them by being pro sex work.
Yeah. I think it was just, I think a lot of people think that you kind of need to fit in a camp, one camp or the other. And I think some people have like seen my content and like, I think one of the better examples is like me shitting on Tana Mojo.
Yeah.
Mojo. And they sort of filled in the blanks and said like, all right, you got to hate women. You got to hate women like this or whatever.
You're like, I hate women, but not in the way you think I hate women. Me too, brother. Don't worry. Same.
So I think it was just a shock. I mean, it's pretty typical response because I think a lot of like the main technique I think to gain a following is you remain as ambiguous as you can.
Oh yeah. That's what
if
I did.
You're wanting to
Famously.
yeah. Maybe for the political commentators that's an exception, but
No, Tim Pool, like, still people think he's a liberal. You know what I mean? Like,
What? How?
there are. I know it's insane, but they definitely do that. Like, political commentators do that as well. Anyone. You're absolutely right. It's the same shit that brands do. It is like basically trying to be as inoffensive as possible to as broad a demographic as possible by like sometimes taking a position when it goes too far. Like, That's how you saw like the Barstool guys even come out and be like, yeah, this abortion shit's crazy. Like, you guys got to chill out.
Right.
But like usually just kind of having like a mishmash of different political opinions that you can pick from either side
Right.
as you see fit.
Yeah, exactly. You speak confidently about the thing you're confident about.
Yeah.
And you don't say anything about the things that are a little bit more sus. So I think people saw that and they're like, all right, I'm going to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And then when it was revealed that I didn't care about OnlyFans, I was just, there was a portion of my fan base who were disappointed.
It's crazy though, because there's like a really old video of Ian from like way before I met him.
You guys want something to drink, by the way?
Oh no, I'm good right now. Way before I met Ian, where he even says, he's like, if women want to like do sex work, like that's just capitalism. Like they're just marketing. Like even like you were what, 23, I think, when you made that video of you talking about being very neutral to women and sex work. And that was like, I mean, for a 23-year-old to feel that way.
Yeah, I don't think I was there at 23. I was definitely, I had some resentment for sure.
So it's just weird that people think that he changed that, because he's literally always been that way since I've met him, like super pro.
Yeah, but people just like choose what they want to hear pretty much. Like I feel like they'll just like
Right,
you said.
you have to outright say it for them to kind of...
Yeah, and when you do, they're like, oh, I feel betrayed.
Right.
Which is kind of weird. But I think ultimately what you need to do is just, keep your head down and make good content, and then they'll shut the fuck up and come back if they want to.
Yeah. And that's what it's always been about anyway, for the most part, is just creating entertaining things. There's always been like a little bit of, like, I don't know, certain things can be political and certain things can't be. I think I saw you react to like my video about wearing the masks. Like, some people freaked out about those. And that was something I felt very confident in speaking about. But I'm not going to get into the fucking, like, the tough stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff was like, it was pretty, you're letting the people that are significantly more knowledgeable than idiots like ourselves actually fucking tell us like, hey, this is a pretty good protocol. And if you're still skeptical after that, you can look to other countries where they have a level of success because they have like some semblance of like a public health measures. It's just such a strange thing. I mean, the similar thing is happening with like, gun laws right now.
Yeah, she always points to Canada constantly when a U.S. thing is happening. She's like, this isn't a problem where I'm from.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit, dude.
It's really weird.
You guys better watch out. We're going to fucking invade one of these days, okay?
I grew up with a crazy uncle that always said that America was coming for our fresh water, and now I'm starting to believe it. I'm like,
that's true. That's what I'm saying. I've been trying to get Governor Gavin Newsom to make Canada into an oblast, like a American take over Canada. They got a lot of fresh water there.
I'm so scared of that.
What's an oblast? What is that?
It's like in Ukraine, that's what they call like districts.
Oh, okay.
States. I just think it's a very cool naming convention. Canada Oblast. I mean, I know that Alberta's down. Like, I feel like they would be the first to be like, yeah, let's go.
That's crazy. So I'm from Alberta, and I'm in Edmonton. And when you drive from Edmonton to Banff, which is like the in-between area between BC and Alberta, there's signs that are like, unionize with the U.S. and Wexit. They call it Wexit.
That's awesome.
Which is like Western exit. There's like flat earther.
No
shit.
way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's already a momentum in
Wexit,
Canada.
Oh yeah. In Alberta.
No, wait. The Maverick Party, formerly known as Wexit Canada, is a Canadian federal political party. It advocates for the constitutional changes, seeking broader appeal. Separatist Wexit Canada Party changes its name to the Maverick Party. It's so funny because like your conservatives are like our Democrats.
Yes, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I had never watched American media before until, dating him. And even in like when Joe Biden talks, I'm like, this is like the most conservative takes for like Canadians. Like this is like Wild Rose level conservative. And Wild Rose has said things like, if you get pregnant as a woman and it's rape, then you wanted it. They've said things like we should feed raw
This is
meat to
regular
the poor.
Republican stuff, though. That's like pretty much.
That's like crazy shit for Canadians. But
Yeah.
like Joe Biden is, I'm so confused by the I don't know. It's weird.
So a maverick is someone who challenges the status quo and believes very strongly in forging ahead and taking a new path. He
Logan
said in
Paul's
an
the
interview.
president of that
Yeah.
party.
I mean, yeah, this guy probably would want Logan Paul's Ohio ass to like fucking, govern Canada or at least Alberta. We just thought that it hit perfectly and we're endeavoring to do in this new political party. What the It's
Yeah.
Maverick from Top Gun. Though the connection to the Top Gun film franchise isn't intentional, Hill said the release of the new film Top Gun Maverick could help draw attention to the new Maverick party. We can't make jokes about this anymore because I feel like
no, it's leaking into Canadian. Alberta's really bad, and so is Ontario. Ontario's getting a little weird.
I feel like Canadians are, I've said this before, but I feel like Canadians are either the chillest people you've ever met or the fucking worst. Like they're so insecure about not being American that I feel like they just hype that shit up.
Yeah.
They try to like overcorrect. And that's how you get like the Steven Crowders of the world.
And McGuinness. McGuinness is Canadian.
And Gavin McGuinness too, yeah. Which is ironic because like Vice literally started off as like as a publicly funded free zine. Like that's in Canada. It was public provisions in Canada that started Vice. Ted Cruz is from Canada, that's true.
Oh God.
Jordan Peterson. If we're gonna talk about politics, and I don't know how comfortable you guys are. I mean, I know you're comfortable talking about politics, but I don't know how comfortable you are about it. Do you feel like any of your opinions politically has shifted over the years?
Yeah, I think I'm just like a lot more. I don't know what the word would be. Moderate. Like, I think a lot of my opinions were a little bit like what's the word?
Libertarian.
Yeah, I just kind of stupid. I still like hold, I think, most of the beliefs. I just don't think that like people were bringing up the whole N-word thing.
Yeah.
And I think basically like I'm just like it's totally fine. I don't need to say the N-word. That's like, I think I had this philosophy where like you're kind of telling me something's off limits and it pisses me off. And I'm like, some comedians are able to say that. I should say that. And I just don't think it's not necessary. You know?
Interesting.
So that's probably one of the. I mean, it's
coward.
It's moving from like it's like moving half a step in a different direction. It's like not really much of a change up.
I think you claim conservatism more than you actually were, though, because like looking at your old stuff, like looking at your content cops and stuff like that I've watched in the past, like outside of your free speech absolutist position, it didn't seem like you were, any different than any other content creator on YouTube in that same era. As a matter of fact, you were probably like more towards the center or left than most content creators of that era, because you were shitting on the most like right-wing content creators of that era. Maybe not like officially positioning yourself as that, but it did feel like, you were like, you dunked on Keemstar, Rice Gum. Like, obviously, these are apolitical people, but they're still like very heavily slanted to the right. Leafy, another person like that. Like these, and some of them have come out about their position, come out with their political positions. But like, I would say that they were still like very much like the attitude that they resembled was very much like right wing. You know what I mean?
I feel like also like there was just a lot of things that Ian had never experienced or understood. Like he had never met a Muslim before, and then he ended up marrying one. But like that was something that really changed. I feel like, alhamdulillah. That's
Bismillah,
mashallah, mashallah.
I taught him the Fatiha. But there's a video of him chopping a Quran in half. And when my dad was still mentally sane, I was terrified that he was going to find that video of Ian. He's like,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he chops a Quran in half with a cleaver. And I was like, oh my God, if my dad ever fucking sees that. Like,
it was less intentional. It was more just random unboxing. And I'm just,
Sorry.
Oopsie.
That would get you, like, literally. My dad would literally murder you, probably. But
yeah, Kafir Americans, it is what it is. Okay. Well, I didn't even know that. Never mind. Yeah. No, it's all good.
It was before him. Most people don't.
No, the way I see it, what I present, what I talk about regularly is that I think people should. Like, one of the things that I get really annoyed about with the way that the left presents itself on the internet is that people act like you are unable to change. You're unable to change your mind. You're unable to change your opinion. You're unable to atone from your sins of the past or whatever, even if it's not like something as severe, even if you don't even personally see it as like a sin or a crime or anything like that. I believe in rehabilitation over incarceration regardless. Like, I think that even if you literally do a crime, I personally believe that you can learn from your mistakes and not repeat that and become like a normal human being, like a productive member of society. So, of course, when it comes to what liberals or leftists or progressive people think is like a really bad behavior, demonstrating like bad ideas, bad behavior, I know that it comes from social conditioning and it's learned behavior and that people can change. And it's something that should be celebrated rather than constantly thrown in your face non-fucking stop. So, you know, I don't have an issue with that.
I think that I'm the one I think has gotten, I'm more extreme than Ian, where I'm like pretty anti-capitalist. I hate landlords. I hate the system that we're in. Like, I think the reason why I really like the charity boxing event is because at least we can like find ways to give money to people who actually need it rather than like just being, I think what really made me mad about boxing events in the past is that it's rich assholes betting their money to make money to like have people that are struggling to like make ends meet and pay rent watch them do it, and then they'll go home and like have a lot of money.
And the fighters are exploited too, like usually, yeah. But this is like, it feels way better where it's like these are people who are getting punched in the face for your entertainment, and your money is actually going towards people that like need it, rather than watching like two 21-year-old privileged rich kids be like, I bet my 2 houses that I'll beat you up. And then no one gets anything, you know. This was definitely significantly better than like any other kind of boxing event that's taken place thus far. Like all the Thriller stuff, or wasn't the Ace family doing one too? And then they were like scamming everybody or some shit.
That's why Rice Gum wanted to fight Ian, because McBroom, the Ace family dad, basically promised Rice Gum $3 million if he fought Ian.
Turns out that's not even real, right? I mean, turns out he is not even actually giving people that kind of money. Isn't he broke now or something? Isn't he like bankrupt?
Yeah, he got foreclosed on, I think. I don't know.
I'm surprised you were even open about some of this other stuff that I thought you would be uncomfortable speaking on, like your prior position on hate speech.
Well, I went on I went on this boxing podcast that was just like, I mean, they're boxing guys, so they know nothing about YouTube. And it was me and Hundar. They didn't know any of my shit. They didn't know any of Hundar's shit. So they were just like actively like searching shit about me while on a podcast with me.
It was live too.
Yeah. And they just like went through a bunch of shit.
What comes up when you...
They typed in iDubbbz controversy.
Yeah, to like try to find things.
That's great. That's a good way to do. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that the first thing that comes up is OnlyFans controversy. Yes. That's hilarious.
So that's what they first asked about.
Bro, that's not even a controversy. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I was actually quite happy that was the first thing they talked about. I was like, okay, piece of cake. I can handle this. But then they got in the N-word stuff, and I was like, all right.
I mean, that was on New York Magazine. Vegan YouTube drama erupts again over N-word. What the fuck? Vegan YouTube drama?
Yeah,
bro. How am I gonna look at this photo? How am I gonna look at this video and not think you have short guy energy?
No, okay? That's 6'2" energy, man.
I'm just dude, come on, bro.
she had like really high heels on that day. She did.
I mean, I don't know anything about Tana. How do you say her last name? I don't even fucking know. Tana Mojo. I mean, I have like very specific brain rot, and that kind of brain rot is like, I can't put that in my brain along with like all the other different types of brain rot that I have.
You were calling Hundar.
That's what it's
like that.
Yeah, Hundar. I mean, that's what he looks like. He looks like he's like Hundar, the barbarian. I mean, he's crazy.
He should change his YouTube channel to that, Hundar the Barbarian.
I mean, he does look like that. What is it? Wait, what do you think about the FDA-approved Alzheimer's treatment, Aduhelm? Wait, there's an FDA-approved Alzheimer's treatment? I didn't even know that.
I will tell you, I'm not sure which one they ended up approving, but my dad was actually on the test trials for an Alzheimer's injection that they were like very close to releasing. And I can't remember the name. My mom would know the name, but it actually caused my dad's brain to bleed, and I think it actually made his condition worse. So,
God damn.
yeah. I mean,
Sorry, my grandmother just recently passed away from Alzheimer's.
it's hard. It sucks
Yeah.
ass. I think the thing with like a lot of, I mean, we knew that he was fucked. So, and I think that's obviously a lot of test trials. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you're fucked anyway, so we might as well like just try it. And like, you don't know whether or not you're getting the actual dose or double the dose or none of it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he was definitely getting a dose of it. We just will never know how much. So, I mean, I think it's great that they're working towards it, and you know, my dad would be very proud that he helped figure out what works and what doesn't. And if it's safe and it's approved, like that's great. I'm so terrified of like, I don't know, brain bleeds and all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really weird experience to go through, like watching a loved one go through that, go through the different stages.
Yeah, I was 22 when my dad was diagnosed, and my dad was 56.
That's young too.
Super
Why?
young.
That's
The
crazy.
youngest. The doctors can't believe it. It's very rare to get it that young, early onset, and like I remember just thinking like, this is like way too young, and then like 2 years later, it was like he's pretty much gone.
Yeah,
That's what
that
happened.
accelerated fast too, I guess, because like I mean, it's different for everyone, but my grandmother had it for many years. At a certain point, it just like becomes a thing. You know what I mean? You just get used to it.
You cope with it. I think I have a friend who's also going through it right now, and I was talking to them about it, and I said like, at least for me, the process was like anger, then sadness, then you go back into anger because they start to like deteriorate more, and then it becomes like peaceful because it's almost like this person doesn't have to worry about anything anymore. Like they actually like get to be taken care of, and like some of what they do is kind of funny, and like they're happy a lot of the time, and like my dad loves eating chocolate, and he still, you can tell like he enjoys being around us and stuff. So it's like you almost find it to be like peaceful that they get to exist that way and be taken care of. Obviously not everyone and that's also why I'm so privileged as a Canadian, and why I think Americans deserve universal health care is like my dad gets taken care of financially for any medical needs, and we have something called AHS, which is like assistance, where we have someone come over and help my dad every week, at least like twice a week. And there's people out there that don't get any of that. And they're like being cared for by people that are not taking care of them
No,
properly.
you get medical bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. That's what we get in America.
That's horrible. I just fucking hate that.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
It makes me really sad to think that, there are people out there that struggle and they don't have any help at all. But if you have proper help, like it does get to the point where you're like, it is the new normal, and you can enjoy life with them again,
Yeah, and you're talking about this in Alberta too, which is again the most like America adjacent part of Canada, in my opinion.
They're trying to privatize healthcare in Alberta, and I didn't know this growing up, but my sister's like very passionate about this stuff. She said in our one of our amendments in our constitutional rights is free healthcare. It's like in the constitutional rights of Canada. So like, I don't know what Alberta's trying to do. I don't know how they can do it, but apparently they're trying.
Damn, if only our founding fathers had put that in there, that would have been fucking sick.
Yeah.
But no, too busy putting other dumb shit in there. That, I mean, no, it doesn't matter. America, it would have bastardized that regardless. We're supposed to. We have we are supposed to uphold. The government's supposed to protect the pursuit of happiness.
Really? Is that in there?
I mean, but it's not necessarily something that I think anyone cares about. We care more about, someone said guns are healthcare. Exactly.
Guns are healthcare.
Yeah.
I only ever hear about the first, second, and fifth in America.
Yeah. Well, I need my second to protect the first. Yeah. Thank you for your arsenal. That's really protecting free speech in America.
What is the third and the fourth? Does anybody know?
Quarters. Third Amendment is supposed to be like the no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law, which is really important, of course. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But the Fourth Amendment is actually important. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, effects against unreasonable searches and seizures.
Oh.
So that the Fourth Amendment is huge, but
no one talks about that.
No. People mention it. I mean, it's like the Third Amendment is just it's just random and silly for the most part.
Interesting.
But yeah, we violate the Fourth Amendment regularly in America. That's probably why.
Isn't the Patriot Act violating that heavily?
We make it. We. That's what I meant. It's just they interpret everything according to whatever the needs of the American heavily militant state is at the time.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, 13th Amendment. Still maintains that slavery is legal and cool.
Terrifying. That's in prisons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That one, because I had heard the saying, like, we have modern day slavery in prisons. And I was always like, I get it. We heavily incarcerate Black and Hispanic Americans more than anyone else. But I didn't know that it was like that. I didn't know that the 13th actually has that loophole in it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, I mean, it's by design. I wouldn't even say it's a loophole. It's just like straight up like the main purpose.
Loophole.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's written there to make sure that the South could operate off of slave work, and now everybody in America operates off of that. Isn't like every big corporation, don't they use slave labor?
Yeah. There was a Supreme Court case that actually found it legally appropriate, I guess, or that they could not rule over Nestle and other corporations taking advantage of slave labor in the third world, as long as it was indirect and a third party company was actually engaging in the child slavery in the cocoa farms and stuff. So
yeah, I tried to get some yogurt, some American yogurt when I was in Canada. Couldn't do it. I had to have my dad like ship it up.
Yeah.
wait, why did you want American yogurt?
Oh, because it was Yoplait. I was doing a whole bit about how Yoplait kills squirrels because of their containers, but didn't have any of that in Canada because we put too much
cancer hormones in it.
bad shit in
It's like
cows.
Illegal. Your dad gets arrested by the Mounties.
We also put cool dye-in things to make things vibrant and
that was
sick.
Me and Ian got into a heated argument over Tic Tacs. Because I saw Tic Tacs in America, and the orange ones are actually colored orange.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? When did they start doing that? And Ian was like, they've always done that.
Yeah, no, it's yellow 5 and orange and all of those are completely illegal in other countries. Yeah.
Canada, like the orange Tic Tacs are white, and then the container is like a translucent orange color.
So we were both right.
Yeah.
So we
It
were
was
both
one
right.
of the few arguments where we both came out on top.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, the Canadian pussies don't know about orange and yellow 5, like the sick dyes that we put in our bodies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I drink Mountain Dew every day. I'm probably killing myself, but also it tastes delicious, so what are you going to do?
It's also like Cheetos, Red Hot Cheetos
Everything.
in Japan. Like, they're like almost gray looking because they just don't put those dyes in them.
It's an incredibly popular dye that has a history of safety concerns and health risks. Yellow 5 food dye in your respiratory health. Analysis determined that in some sources of tartrazine might have particles of respirable size. This means you can breathe them in. Because exposure to this food dye is common, you'll probably come into contact with the yellow 5 dust at some point.
There are some brands that I think are doing this weird thing where they're trying to, without like, I guess, scaring consumers away, they're putting next to like Cheetos, hot Cheetos or whatever, like the more like naturally colored ones. And they're like seeing if consumers will like take that instead. I don't think it's working because I think we love our dyes.
Because that shit's delicious though.
Yeah.
I fucking need that yellow dye. I need a healthy dose of yellow dye in my fucking food. You know what I mean? It's just like it doesn't work any other way. That and microplastics. We need to have a healthy diet of both of those things here in America, which of course is like may or may not contributing to diminishing testosterone levels in both men and women, which is bad for reproductive health and numerous other health complications. But probably the gay teachers or something that's pussifying America.
Probably gonna have to increase immigration after none of us can do any impregnations.
Well, that's what the abortion thing is about.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That way you just
way-
That way you try to combat it by forcing.
poor white women.
It'd be funny to find out that we're like with each baby, you're like increasing the amount of like microplastics. Like it's like past,
honestly,
like kind of down the food chain.
There
type thing.
is they did find fetuses. It was something like 8 out of 10 babies that are being born
Good. It's healthy for you.
have microplastics
That
in
does
them.
feel like a Futurama-esque like
We're making ourselves infertile.
storyline where like a baby has like a microplastic like wedged in its
It's a
skull,
Futurama.
and then it comes out as like a
Weird
new and
deformity.
exciting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way is we're evolving. We're evolving to be, more plastic, which is good. That way you don't even need to carry your credit card. I'm always losing my shit,
So
This way I
fucked
can just
up.
have it directly planted in my brain.
I was watching this doctor talk about how men on average are 50% less fertile than they were in 1970 or something like that. It's 50%. And then when you turn 35, you decrease 50% again, fertility-wise, as a man, with like the microplastics.
That probably means they could probably do new like trials for condoms and stuff right now, and they'll get better results.
That's
Like
true.
higher
like
percentages,
90
yeah.
to 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nearly.
I've never actually I've never conducted this test, but I get STD tested regularly, and I'm more of a pull and pray kind of person, and I've never had a pregnancy, so So I don't know. Maybe I'm
It's the
already there. Yeah, the microplastics got me. If nobody got me, microplastics got me.
That
So,
was the solution the whole time.
Yeah.
Do you hear about the one where they, the male birth control, where they are putting your balls in like a little jacuzzi?
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's like meant to be a temporary thing. I think they're still working on it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like a week long.
yeah, I think you would rest your nuts.
I'm googling male birth control balls jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Yep, testicles a
There it is.
bath. Right there.
What the fuck? Testicle baths wins Dyson Award as innovative birth control for men. Well, yeah, that's the reason why your balls are outside of your body, so that you can regulate its temperature. It's like self-cooling. So if you fry it,
Cook them.
yeah, if you
Cook
cook
'em.
your ball sack a little bit, you can get temporary birth control, I guess.
Yeah. Would you do that?
Fuck no.
What?
Why not?
I don't know. I don't want to. I'm scared, man.
Kinda
I don't
sounds
want
like you hate women.
Yeah, we already established that. Just not in the way that people think I hate women. You know what I mean?
You just want them to do the birth control stuff. That's sort of on them.
No. I would do male birth control. I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
it's
I
getting
but I
Just
do,
as long as it's not painful.
exactly.
That's not painful.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly. I'm fearful of like cooking my balls. That doesn't sound too.
It seems like foreplay to me. I'm like, that seems sick.
Okay, but
I'm
that's
like,
different. It's
that get
like
me
you're
excited.
into it.
Yeah.
Status display, water level mark, water for ultrasound, wave transmission, battery, microcontrol. My balls wouldn't even fit in that, bro. Whatever. Oh.
Probably gotta,
Probably so many dudes saying that.
Yeah. The COSO must be used first time under the doctor's supervision and takes. This sounds like an April Fool's thing, dude. Like, I literally thought this was fake. What the fuck? Which, by the way, bro, us women get birth control shoved up our pussies. You can cup your balls.
Yeah, and it's very painful. Like, I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
It's fucking ass, and they don't give you any help.
it's pretty crazy to watch some of the like 3D animations of them like going in and doing
The way that they hold your
like the
cervix
IUD
still.
stuff and
Oh, yeah, the NuvaRing.
They put literal hooks in your cervix.
Yeah.
Which, like, by the way, like, most women have like a natural, like, your blood pressure drops like really heavily if you touch the cervix, because it's just not meant to. It's like touching anything inside your body. Like, it's not supposed to happen. And then they like force it open and they just shove shit in there.
Yeah, no, that stuff is like super brutal, but also it's literally because like, and this is not like being like woke or anything. Women's reproductive health is so far behind in comparison to like any other medical category. I think like, I remember seeing an insane fact that like only like 5 years ago or something, they actually for the first time ever documented what was it? God damn it, I need to figure it out. Like sometimes I'll find like random fascinating medical facts about like women's reproductive health where you're like we still don't know. There is no established medical science on the G spot, whether it
Yeah.
exists or not, or clitoris, whether
Yeah.
like what what its impacts are, which is pretty fucking funny when you think about it.
Yeah.
There are new medical procedures, or like at least newly documented medical phenomena happening all the time with respect to like how the vagina works.
They used to believe truly wholeheartedly that like doctors, this is like actual doctors believed that like female suffering during giving birth was necessary. And you should see how they used to like, if a baby wasn't coming out, they used to like actually handsaw the woman's like vagina open. I'm not even kidding. They would like handsaw it open.
Jesus fuck.
Sure?
And they would well, I mean, now they don't do that barbaric shit, but then they will still do what is it called?
The husband stitch.
Yeah, the husband
Yeah.
stitch. Yeah, they like sew your pussy.
And most women don't even know that
Yeah.
they've had it done, and they'll ask the husband. Also, like if I wanted to get like a hysterectomy or my tubes tied, they would want to ask him whether or not he was okay with that, which I think is insane. But also the other thing,
So creepy. They don't actually call it like the husband stitch.
No, they do.
Yeah, they do.
No, they call it the
They call
husband
it the
stitch.
husband stitch.
Yeah,
They
they give an extra. They like make it smaller. They make
Yeah.
your vaginal opening smaller.
than when it was before.
Yeah. Refers to an extra stitch that some women may have received after vaginal delivery led to their perineum becoming cut or torn. This stitch extends beyond what is necessary to repair a natural tear during childbirth or cut from episiotomy.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, literally the first article is the husband stitch isn't just a horrifying
yeah.
childbirth
No,
myth.
it's a real thing.
It's wild.
Also, like most of women's reproductive health that's been recorded and studied was like rooted in racism. Like actually, it was like only done on black women, and there was like all these myths about like them not being able to feel pain, and like apparently the dude like would go in and like touch their cervix and try and like figure out whether or not they felt pain, and like it's really fucked. Like if you look into all of it, it's like really
What I'm
fucked up.
wondering is if like, because I guess my question was more about like, how does the conversation go between the husband and the doctor? Does the doctor come and say, you want the husband stitch or not? Or if he says it a little bit more,
It's like a little nudge, like, "Hey, we're gonna make that pussy tighter.
we can throw in an extra stitch.
Yes.
Am I
what
right?
what do you think about that?
Yeah, apparently there was a
It's so weird. I would think if he asked me that and I was like 18 or something, I'd be like, oh yeah, like a more secure, like closing of the area. Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
do
shut
a
it
few
tight.
Extra stitches.
Shut it. Yeah, it just
Make
close
sure
it up
it's-
entirely. But apparently, it's incredibly painful for a
Yes.
lot of women when they do get it, and they don't even know that they got it.
Yeah.
So it's like the most. I find this to be probably like the perfect representation of patriarchal attitudes within fields such as medicine that's supposed to be like completely devoid of that sort of thing. So it's actually wild.
If you want to see something really terrifying, look up like birth deaths of mothers in is it Mississippi or Louisiana?
Any of the southern states. I think.
Are you
and
talking
how
about?
many of them are black women?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who was it? There was the guy that looks like fucking Frankenstein's monster, who is a representative who literally fucking said famously, our, natal care is fine. Like the birth rate fatality is not that bad if you take black women out of the equation.
Yeah, it's
Cassidy from Louisiana. Yep, that's it.
It's so bad. I didn't know it was that bad. Like just objectively.
Bill Cassidy famously talked about Louisiana senator defends his statements on the state's black maternal health. If you have a senator who's willing to dismiss 1/3 of his constituents, said one advocate, what happens when they walk into a hospital to get treatment? He said that while black people make up 1/3 of the state's population and experience higher rates of pregnancy-related deaths, if you correct our population for race, we're not as much as an outlier as it would otherwise appear.
That makes me want to fucking die.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad
Yeah.
when you look at this.
I mean, this is stuff that they teach in like medical school too. Like medical ethics, quite literally, if I'm not mistaken, focuses on like doctors perceiving black patients to have a higher level of pain tolerance
Yeah.
incorrectly.
Yeah.
There's also a problem with like diagnosing autism in women because
Yes.
autism is seen as like autism in the way that it manifests in boys and men
is different.
is different. So they like never really end up correctly diagnosing women with autism.
They also misdose patients of color way more often
Yeah.
than white patients. Like they'll just way overdose or
Yeah.
sometimes under, depending on the situation. It's fucked up.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, the medical system is like way worse than I thought it was, and then I started like looking into it, and I was like, holy shit, this is like really bad. It feels like the South in general drags down the stats of the U.S. and like a lot of things, though. Like, it's kind of crazy when you look at, there's like childbirth deaths, and then what was the other one that we were looking up that was like, holy shit.
I don't know. It's like every time there's some sort of thing to measure, it's pretty much the case. I think we looked at like, I don't know, renewable energy or something.
Oh, the
at some
renewable
point.
energy is so bad.
It's just nothing.
The percentage of renewable energy in the South is like, for most states, it's like 4% of their energy is renewable energy, which is like very, very low.
Yeah.
Like, you have to try at that point to be.
And they push back against it too, even though ironically a lot of those states, especially like the Rust Belt, has really, they have a great opportunity to focus on renewable energy, because like there's a lot of wind, so you could actually create like wind farms. In the South, you have a lot of places where you get sun throughout the entire year, so it's actually pretty good for solar, exactly. And yet, yeah, they refuse to do so because it makes the other side makes a lot of money. Yeah. Even though renewable energy could be viable, they refuse to make any sort of, like, they refuse to take the initiative on that.
Why don't they just do what tobacco did and move over to vaping? Like, I mean, I feel like it's the same thing. They are doing that, right? Like,
you nailed it. Actually, that's precisely what these companies are doing. That's why Shell, British Petroleum, Exxon, like, they all actually invest heavily into renewable energy and like purchase big, like a lot of these big like leading renewable energy companies. The Saudi government's doing that too, specifically so they can, one, hedge against the inevitable end of like our reliance on fossil fuels, but also so they can stop the change from happening from within. So that they can like maximize their profits in the process. Pretty cool stuff.
Nice. That makes me want to die.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's well, companies are trying to do that anyway. But yeah, I don't want to keep you guys for any longer than I have already. You guys have been incredible. Thank you so much for coming on.
This was wonderful. The first time we are meeting Hasan.
Yeah.
He just invites us over.
Yeah.
We've met before.
We have at a
we
party
met at like a
once.
Twitch event.
Yeah.
Meeting on stream is weird.
Really?
Yeah. I thought you'd want to suss me out and be like, all right, this guy's not coming on.
No, I don't give a shit. I mean, I do this all the time. You were very good though. You were
wicked.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Nice.
How was it?
It's good. I do.
Were you
again.
uncomfortable? Were you like weirded out originally? You're like, what the fuck's this guy gonna say?
Well, I think you not sussing us out made us like nervous about what you're like whether you were gonna be kind of a weirdo. You know, you gotta be more careful with who you bring on.
I
Like,
trust her, bro. That's why.
Yeah.
No, literally, it was because of her. I
Okay.
didn't have any like any worries whatsoever at all.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Once someone says they're pro-Palestine, I'm like, okay, well then that's it. Because that's like the one issue. Like most progressives even are like, nope, not doing that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah. In
I'll
America,
die on that
especially.
hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, true. America.
All right.
Anyway, well, thank you so much
chat.
for coming on. All right, bye guys. Is there anything you want to promote while you're here? I don't know.
Creator Clash 2. Give us money for charity next year.
All right, Creator Clash 2, guys. Straight out. Okay, now that they're gone. Okay, I didn't want to say anything beforehand because it's like kind of awkward to talk about them while they're here. But that was fucking awesome. Am I crazy? That was like literally that was sick as fuck. I know what Anissa's politics are, obviously, so I knew that she's awesome. Like I've known for a long time. But that was part of the reason why I was confident that it wasn't going to be weird at all. That's part of the reason why I also have defended iDubbbz in the past when people were like really, really aggro towards him for his past transgressions. You know what I mean? Knowing full well that like someone who is ride or die defending his wife against like a sea of fucking incels and shit like that. I knew that he was chill. He even said him defending N-word as a short person energy. Yeah. No, it was cool. It was cool as fuck. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, they're great. The vibes were immaculate. It was not weird.